What kind of advice can you give him since you are very experienced in that field?
uh,
All right, UFC light heavyweight Sam Alvey. It's always good to get you on and talk with you and chat it up, man. This is a big fight coming up, UFC 254 on October 24th versus Taun Jong. How you doing, Sam? How's life?
yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Life's doing pretty well. How are you?
Good, good, man. Perfect, perfect, man. Can't complain, man. Life could be worse. Now, I got a bunch of questions for you from Korean media and fans of yours in Korea since you're facing a Korean fighter coming up. So let's get started, man. Now you've done many interviews in the past. Have you ever done any interviews from Korean media or with Korean media?
I mean, you and I have done interviews before, but straight from the Korean, no, I don't think so. This is the first South Korea. I've got a ton of fights, but I believe this is the first South Korean that I've competed against.
All right. Well, do you know anything about Korea and have you been exposed to a lot of Korean culture in the past?
I haven't. My wife has a South Korean friend, and she always said before the fight, she always said the South Korea was the tallest of all Asian countries. She said the people were the biggest there, out of Japan, China, India, all that. And lo and behold, I get to fight. I get to fight just a giant one.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's the kimchi. Are you a fan of kimchi?
I do like it. I do. It's got that bitter spice to it. I do like it. I was saying my wife, she cooks everything from around the world. She'll Google it and figure it out. And so I get to be her test subject, and she loves kimchi, and so I've grown a fondness for it as well.
All right. Now, one of the probably the most famous things to come out of Korea is Psy and his song Gangnam Style. Have you ever danced to that song?
Oh hell yeah! I think it came out the summer before I got married in January. I think it came out the summer before I got married, and yeah, we all had to.
Oh, did you dance to it at your wedding?
Yeah, everyone thought it was. They had so much fun doing it.
All right, all
I'm
right,
trying to
good.
get guys, so I've got a bunch of kids and they're all young. I'm trying to get them to do it too.
All right. Now, how much do you know about Jung, your upcoming opponent?
Well, I've seen his last four fights, which is usually a pretty good base, and I've seen he's got just an incredible cross. His cross is just fast. It's powerful. I really have to respect that cross during the fight. He doesn't kick much, but neither do I. So that'll be pretty even. But the few I've seen him throw a couple flying knees. I've seen him throw a couple of his the teep kicks, and so his legs are quick too. But it's really that cross is kind of his money shot.
Besides the cross, what do you see as his other strengths and maybe some weaknesses?
Well, in the UFC, he's got a knockout and a submission. I think a big strength of his is whether he's winning or losing a fight, he is always in that fight. There's never, I mean, his debut in the UFC, he had a really bad round one. And then he came back and won round two and then won in round three. And round one was almost stopped. So he took a licking and kept on ticking. He's got a heck of a jaw on him. And he's smart. Some guys that get hit and they get rocked and they just try and survive. He would fight back. He was really impressed me in that regard too.
You're heading into this fight, on a four fight skid. What is the
Yeah.
mentality entering this bout?
Well, I'm blessed to have ever been in the UFC. This is going to be my 20th fight with the UFC, and I'm going to look back at all 20 fights and just be thrilled with what I've done. That being said, I would love another 20 fights with the UFC, and I know if I lose this fight, it's not going to happen. So I need to win this fight. I need to not only win, I need to win it dominantly. I need to go out there and really make a statement with this to keep my career with the UFC going strong and long.
What kind of pace are you expecting against Jong?
Uh, he's got a good. it's not a fast pace, but he's always on you. He's got long arms. I think he's 79 inches or close to it. And he does really good at keeping people, staying 79 inches away. And so it's not that it's a fast pace. It's just he's always on you. So I've got to be willing and able to adapt to that, to adjust and make sure my cardio is on point.
What is your prediction for this fight?
I say the same thing for every fight I've ever had. I'm going to submit him in the third.
Is there a different approach, a different way to approach a fight against a young prospect like Jung compared to a veteran of the sport?
He's hungry. I'm hungry too, but I've been fed a couple times. I want to keep getting fed. I want to work my way up. He's hungry. He hasn't lost in 11 fights. He's undefeated in the UFC. He's hungry. He's got a style not many people have seen yet. I've just got to go in there and I got to make sure that I'm hungrier that day. And I'm starving right now.
Is there a lot of pressure heading into this fight?
There should be, but no. I've done more in my life and my career than I ever thought possible. I didn't grow up thinking I was going to be a UFC fighter. And then I got here and I'm in world champions, Hall of Famers. I've beaten a lot of people. And I'm looking to beat a lot more. There's a few more people on my list that I want to take care of. But it all starts with Mr. Young.
Okay, well, who's on the list? That's something interesting right there.
Michael Bisping was for a long time. I know that ship has sailed. I've always had respect for him. He's always been so much fun to watch. And I sparred with him once or twice, and I know that ship has sailed. Anderson Silva is probably the worst possible matchup in the world for me. It would be a bad stylistic fight for me that I really want. I admire him so much. He is GSP, I think, is the GOAT. Mighty Mouse is probably number 2. Anderson Silva is number 3. And I would love to be able to step in a cage with somebody that's just done everything he's done and made it look so easy.
So he would be the fighter that would make you cut down to 185.
He's gone up to 205 too, but no, I would want him smaller. I would want him to cut to 85.
All right. Now, with this fight coming up, are there any differences in your preparations?
The last guy I fought was Ryan Spann. I think I won that fight. Mm-hmm. But anyways, Ryan Spann was big and tall and had about the same reach. So for that fight, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for Ryan Spann. But I was able to set some things up and meet some people with long range like that. So I've made some adjustments with who I'm sparring with and the size of the opponent that I've been working with.
Is there any special reason for always smiling brightly?
Have you seen my wife? Oh, my wife is she's hot stuff. She's in my corner when I fight. She's in my corner when I train. She gives me every reason to smile.
Your bright smile is very attractive. How do you take care of your teeth?
Here's a secret. This front tooth is actually not mine. It's a fake tooth. I lost it wrestling in high school. So it's really this one. My fake one's whiter than all the rest. So I just scrub the heck that. I think I'm a Crest man or a Colgate man. Whoever wants to pay me, that's the type of toothpaste I use. If there's a South Korean branded toothpaste, that's the stuff I use.
Oh, we'll push for it. The fans will push for it. When you win, you have that celebration where you smile and you have your arms stretched out. What does that mean, and is there a story behind that?
Yeah, so me and my best friend growing up, Evan, we grew up down the street from one another, and there's a pond that we kind of met up at. On this pond, there's a raft out in the middle. Me and all the neighborhood buddies would go out on that raft, and we'd have raft fights, push each other off, last team on. And we all, you have to pick the team. You have to pick your team name. And so my buddy Evan and I, we picked, we were the Raging Butterflies. And then we came up with the team symbol too. And that since that rap fight, every chance we get, we're always raging. We play dodgeball, we're the Raging Butterflies. We play basketball, we play baseball. Anything we do, we're the Raging Butterflies with our little hand signal. And so when I got into the UFC, that was, I mean, there was no other way to go. I am the Raging Butterfly, and that's the join my hand signal.
Definitely. Well, I'll have the fans maybe do that and take a picture
Yeah,
or something, right?
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Now, this is a question from a man in his 40s who's not married yet. He's
Okay.
asking, how can he get a beautiful woman to be his wife like you? Could you tell him what kind of tactics that you use to, you know, attract your wife?
Yeah, I used to be into weapons. I'm a green belt in Kobudo. Yeah. And so the first date, I took her out. I got coffee and pie, and I showed her my weapons. I showed her my nunchucks and my sais and my bow staff, and she thought it was hilarious. And yeah, she loves this story. She loves it. That's the first thing I did. So if you want to get a good woman, a nice, pretty, smart, intelligent, good cooking woman, show her your weapons.
That's that's wonderful. That's beautiful. Now, you have 5 children. Is there, extra weight, on your shoulders being the head of the household, such a big household?
Uh, yeah, but I've never looked at it as a weight. I wouldn't have had the 5 if I couldn't do the 5. And my wife and I, there have been days where all the kids are on me. This last weekend was actually 2 days. All the kids were with me. And I was so happy when my wife got home. So when I see how she puts up with 5 kids so much, that the weight's not on my shoulders, it's on hers.
Now, Jung, your opponent, he's going to become a father in December for the first time.
Well, congratulations to him. It's life-changing.
What kind of advice can you give him since you are very experienced in that field?
Enjoy every moment. They get big fast. And I know that's something everyone says, but yeah, they get big. So my youngest is 7 years old right now. And it's just a blink of an eye and she's 7. So enjoy every moment. Also, so the moment my first was born, and it's kind of the same for all of them, but especially the moment my first was born, nobody else on the planet mattered. Like it was that second I held my little girl, and it was just immediate. Nobody on this planet matters but this little girl. And it was such a cool feeling. And I got it with all the kids, but it was just something I'd never experienced before with the first one. So just remember that first, when you first have her in your arm, just remember that feeling.
What do you think Korean fans should pay attention to most in this fight coming up?
We got 2 guys with big right hands. So watch out for, there's going to be a cross, a hook. I might cross more. My hand isn't broken anymore, so I'm going to be punching a lot more with my left. And just look out for the big shot that changes the fight.
Any message to the Korean fans, like directly to them?
Hey, I love that you guys love this sport. I wouldn't have a job without you guys. I am so honored to be fighting one of your best. And I look forward to, if I ever get the opportunity to fight in South Korea, I'm there. Saoja Jung. Thank you very much. We'll have to do this again. Sanghae Eungyo.